Hello, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to film my January TBR, but I also wanted to clean my desk. And yeah, I figured why not mix the two together because I'm really good at multitasking, so why not? And it's not that my desk is really dirty, but it does have coffee stains, cat hair, and other things, so I just want to wipe it down. Basically, I want to take everything off, wipe it down, organize things, put it back. While I go through quickly the books that I want to read in January, I already read 2 books that I'm not showing here, so these are the 12 other books that I want to read this month. I have a feeling it's going to be a good month, although I am going to be busy, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it through most of these books, but I'm hoping, because half of them I have like an audiobook loan on, so that always speeds up the process. So I have these Scott towels, and I also have these lens wipe. I don't know why, but they work so well on cleaning like little spots here and there, so I've been using these as well. So I'm just gonna go, and first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to take things away and then clean and then put them back, if that makes sense. And I'm also gonna go through my pile, so I'm gonna move my pile towards the back so I can go through every book individually. And like, I'll maybe clean this back area first. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, they say. I have a lot of also sticky notes. This is like my reality every day, every week. I have to go through all these sticky notes on my desk. Although I do use Notion and whatnot, and I do use my notes app, I use this weekly planner, and I have a planner online. I just always am writing down notes, having to do things, having to remember things. So speaking of the planner, we're gonna put it away on my couch here, and then now we can start slowly cleaning the back. So the first book that we have here is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I obviously want to finally pick this up and read this. I told myself that 1 year I really have to get through the Lord of the Rings books, and this is me starting finally. And The Hobbit is like the prequel, I believe, and it's a really short book actually, so I think I'm going to be able to get through this month. And I just feel like I'm in a fantasy mood right now, so it's the perfect time to pick up books like these. I'm going to open my first wipe. I don't even remember watching the Lord of the Rings movies when I was a kid. Like, I of course remember watching them, but I don't remember anything from them except that ring that they're stealing or something. So I've been trying so hard my entire life to avoid spoilers, and so far I've been doing well. So I'm going to read this one, and then maybe every month I read one book of the series. So next month I'm going to read Lord of the Rings. I don't know why, for some reason I thought like these books were like thousands of pages long, but they're really not. It's just a whole series by its own. Apparently is really hard to read because of the invented language. Is there an invented language? I remember watching the Tolkien movie that they made back in like 2019 or 2018 with what's his name called? With that British actor there, Nicholas Hoult. That was a really good movie. It had like a lot of dark academia vibes, by the way. I don't remember anymore, but I know that this was inspired by Tolkien's war days. So, and then he also lost his close friends, and that's what inspired this book. So that's all I know. That's all I want to know, and I just want to immerse myself into this. Okay, so I finally cleaned this little section here, so it's time to move these books there. So the next book, as you could see, is The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. I've been reading this on and off since I bought this book, and it's because I just want to enjoy it. But like I said last month, it's time for me to finish it. So I have picked it up since, but I found myself in the same situation where I picked it up and I let it go. But I did get through some other books, so now I'm clean in my roster to get through this one every day, so gradually get through this one. I was getting through multiple books at a time, so I feel like this month I am really going to be finishing this. So the books that I keep on my desk are just like some writing books, some notebooks, and some like big books that I'm always like currently working on. I also got this clock, like this vintage looking clock. It's really beautiful, but I noticed this morning that it actually makes noises, and like you could hear it, and it bugs me a little bit, but I love how it looks like. And there's a misprint on it, but I got it shipped internationally, so I'm just so lazy and I like it. It has character, you know, the misprint has character. So instead of writing like 30 for 30 minutes, it's written 03, but whatever, it is what it is. So I'm just gonna move this here so I don't want to break it. And then I usually keep books here that I'm currently reading, or books that I want to read next, or books that I don't know where to put because I have books everywhere and I don't know where to put them anymore. So yeah, this is where the spot is here. And usually there are books that that are ongoing. These are some of the books that I'm keeping there. I'm not going to go through them because I don't want to confuse you with my TBR list. So the third book is Cucumbe by Michel Jean. I already presented this book last month. I didn't get through it, but that's okay because my goal for the new year is to read one French book a month, and so I'm on track. I read one French book last month. Now I'm going to read one French book this month, so I'm still going to read Cucumbe by Michel Jean. And if you want to know the review of this, if you want to read the review, it's in French, but I'll attach it down below. As always, all the books are going to be down below. I also have these lights on my desk, and they're pretty and all, but they are very inconvenient most times because they're just all over the place, and one of my cats likes to play with it and the other cat likes to chew on it, so it's not a good combo. I don't recommend, but they are pretty, so I just suffer through. So I have this vase. Is it a vase? It's actually a planter, a ceramic planter of Edgar Allan Poe. I love him. And then I also have this pine cone. I love it too. Essentially, I'm just gonna go through so I can take out some dust. Okay. I'm gonna put these away so I don't break them. The next book that I have is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I really want to read this. I've been wanting to read this for the last 2 years. I know that she's completing the entire series this year, and I have the published editions as well. So I want to read the self-published edition so I can then see if there's any differences, major differences between the self-pub and the traditionally published version, because I also like to do both in my career, so I like to see the difference. And I really do enjoy this first cover. And unfortunately what happens is, like, when self-published books get published, traditionally you don't get any of those beautiful original covers that are more like homey feeling. I feel like they feel more like, I don't know, dark and gritty versus like the ones that they publish, but that's just me, that's just my opinion. So yes, this is a dark academia book. Everyone knows this book. I don't feel like you need me to talk about this, and I also talked about it last month, so I don't want to be redundant. However, I will say that this year, I really want to stick with it. I really want to read one dark academia book minimum a month, so I'm going to start with this one this year. Here I keep a lot of my writing books that I want to read next. I actually have a lot of writing books. It would be embarrassing to say the number of how many writing books I do have, but just know it's a lot. And that's why one of my goals is also to read, oh shit, things are falling, is also to read a writing book per month. So you're going to see that coming up in the next few books. So I'm just going to, oh my god, clear here. These are not dusty, that's good. Because you see, I normally do clean my desk, but I've been having a really busy last few months, so I have not been on my game. So I'm just plucking things and then dusting, cleaning, and putting them back, because it's just easier that way than removing everything, because then everything's gonna fall down and fall through the cracks because it's just like a table pushed against the wall. The next book that I want to read and that I want to finish reading is Stoner by John Williams, another book that I put on last month's TBR, but I am now currently halfway through. I've been reading this since yesterday, and I believe I'm going to be finishing this one today, and I might film a little vlog. I'm not too sure if I have enough to say for a vlog, but we'll see if I combine it with another book or if I just, you know, do a short vlog on this one, but I really do enjoy it. There's so many good writing books that I want to read this year. I'm really hoping that I make the effort to read more and recommend more, because I do miss talking about writing and like actually learning more about writing and the craft of writing and how to edit your books and how to write compelling stories and how to plot. I'm not a plotter, but I've been slowly getting into it, and I do at some point need to use a plot because I always like go for like complex story ideas and I get lost. So yeah, I'm like a reluctant plotter, if that makes sense. Normally I'm just a pantser and I'm just an emotional writer usually. It's like I write the way I read, which is like all over the place, and I pick things up, drop them, come back years later. This is what I do normally, but sometimes, you know, I will just like bang it out, binge it out, and you know, so it's just the duality of life, honestly. Okay, so we finished the left section. We cleaned and dusted the left section. Now we're gonna do the middle part. The middle part is always tricky because it's always like pushing on the left or on the right to fall off. So I think I'm gonna have to clear this area and then start on that area. But the next book that I want to read is Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. I wanted to read this since last year. I actually did have my audiobook loan hold, but what happened is that I had a paper version of my library card because I got a library card beginning of last year, and I had to get the actual card. So when I got the actual card, I lost 10 of my loans, and it was so sad. So I had to re-wait for a lot of these books that I wanted to read on audio. So this was one of them. I think Tom Felton does narrate his own story. I think that's gonna give an extra layer to it. I'm just so excited. I hope we hear more from Emma Watson in here as well. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read this. I'm gonna put some of these books back here. Alright, my candle. This. The planter. Comb. So I have all my sticky tabs. I'm going to go through them later on today. So I'm just going to put them all in a section. This is what I normally do. I put them all together. Then I put them on this sticky notepad. Stick them in there. And then I put them usually in the first drawer. So when I open it, I can see it and I can go through it. Hopefully I don't forget to do that today. I have 2 pens that I always use to annotate. I'm just going to put them here on the side. Have some notebooks. This is for learning Farsi, I believe. This is for learning Italian. And this is for like notes on the writing books that I read. So I put this here. So I have books here that are like on my TBR, but they're big books, so they're good for like holding here. I have more writing books. I have my Complete the Artist Way because I use them every morning for my morning pages. And then I have notebooks for writing my book reviews. I have a journal. I have books that I'm currently reading. So I have The Pivot Year. I read this like every day because you read one a day. And I also have this book that I'm going to finish next month. So I'm not going to present it this today. And I have the Bible. Don't ask me why, but I wanted to like read the Bible. I got to page 7 of Genesis and I was like, this is like, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 pages long. I don't have the time right now. So I just leave it there for the day that I will actually feel like reading it. Just because I feel like, and I feel like reading the Bible is interesting because a lot of our literature, especially the classics, they have biblical intertext and whatnot. And I always also wanted to read Paradise Lost by Milton. So I feel like to read that, it'd be great if I read the Bible. But it is the Bible and it's going to take time to read. So I don't know. Maybe not today, maybe not this year, maybe I'm gonna pick it back up next year. But yeah, it's the King James version, and there is the audiobook for it on Audible, but you know, you have to keep on paying for your membership to Audible to actually read it. But you know, one day maybe I'll extend my membership for a few months to just to read the Bible. So that's kind of sad, but yeah, because I don't want to read that by myself. Like, I want someone to read it to me while I can take some notes, if that makes any sense. But I will say, not to go on a big tangent about the Bible, the first few lines have been really interesting. I'm always shook by what is written in the Bible, and also I did study some passages of the Bible for my literature classes in my undergrad, so it's not like I'm super new to the Bible either, you know. Alright, the next book that I wanted to read is Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. My audiobook for this came in, and I only heard great things about this. I know that he has like a lot of critiques, but I do like some of the things that he says online, so I do think that I should read this and form my own opinions, and who knows, maybe it might help me, maybe it might not, but I do know that I have a few friends that have read this and that love this, so I think it's time for me to pick up some Dispenza. I also have The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, and it's the same thing about this one. A lot of people love it, rave about it, and other people are much more critical about this. So again, I'm just going to read these two books with a critical lens and with the hopeful assumption that it might help or it might make things click for me. So this one is Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. So yeah, I just want to read self-help books gradually. I don't want to like beat it into me either. I just want to read the ones that I feel compelled to read. And most of you know, when I read self-help books, I go through them on my second channel versus going through them on this channel, because this channel is more like fiction, poetry, whatnot, and my second channel is more like self-help. So yeah, I will still be reading this on this channel. I will still be talking about this, but if I ever decide to film a video about it, it's going to be on the second channel. Alright, so we can already put things back. This is so much quicker doing it this way than, you know, having to like just do it because I have to do it. So now it's like I feel like I'm accomplishing more than one thing at the same time, which I am. But it just feels different. I don't know if anyone understands what I'm trying to say. It feels good to multitask because I'm forced to multitask on the screen. So yeah, sometimes you just have to hold yourself accountable like this. And that's the same thing I do with like writing and reading sometimes. That's why I like to vlog, because you see your progress. You see that you're like procrastinating or putting things off. And that's a great thing about vlogging and keeping yourself accountable online, but also like digitally, if that makes sense. Okay. So we have the last few books here, and I have just one section right here that you can't see off camera to clean, but that's okay. It's not going to take me long. So I'm just going to move the candle stuff that I have on this corner. I have this candle that I got for Christmas. I have this candlestick holder too. I'll leave that here. I have my apple still. I'm going to leave this here. And now I'm going to clean this section. But first, let me present to you the two next books that I want to read. Again, it's these vampire books that I have not finished yet. So I want to finish Dracula and I want to finish Carmilla this month. I don't know why I'm procrastinating. Probably because these are classical texts and I just want to give my all while reading them. So I just know that at some point when I do pick them up, it's going to be a bang bang. And I'm going to film a video about these two, and maybe that's why I'm procrastinating. But it's time to finish these so I can go back to writing my novel. I have another one. I have some little notebooks about my novel and other notes that I take, and then I have some more writing books here. Oh no! Put this here. Put this here. And now I'm going to wipe this section. Hold the Bible so it doesn't fall. so I don't get any bad luck or anything. I don't know. I know it doesn't work like that, but okay. This section is clean. Put these back. Books. Actually, a lot of these books on the right hand side I really want to read this year, but we'll talk about that another day. This is not the point of today's video. So the next book that I want to read is The Joy of Pain, also known as Schadenfreude. I talked about this last month. I literally just have like 3 chapters left. I'm like more than halfway through. It's a really short book. I could just finish it this month. There's no excuses, honestly. And then the last book is this writing book. It's called The Writer's Journey. I've been reading this for 2 years now. I'm halfway through, and I decided officially that this week I'm going to finish this. So I'm going to read about 50 pages a day this week, and I'll be done. I'll write my notes and I'll talk about it because this is such a fascinating and a must read for every writer out there. So again, it's The Writer's Journey by Christopher Vogler, and it's inspired by The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. So both good books on writing and writers and myth making and how to write a good plot and compelling characters. So I just want to finish this so I can, you know, work through the other writing books that I was talking about and complaining about today. So yeah, that's the big one that I have, and it's going to knock off my goal of reading 1 writing book a month. So now I'm just going to finish my last few touches here. I'm going to put the books back here because why not? We have the nice display of the books. They're actually going to go on this corner, but I want to film a TikTok of these books too, so I'm going to keep them out for now. Ta-da! The 12 books that I want to read. Put this back here. Fix these lights here. Oh my god, everything looks so clean and proper right now. I'm loving it. Alright, no more coffee stains, no more dust, no more cat hair. I'm so proud, I'm so happy, and it feels so good to read and write finally at this desk that is clean now. Thank you for joining me again for this video. It's a bit of a different video. I hope you enjoyed the style of this video. Sometimes it's good to do things differently when you film these types of video instead of me just sitting here and just like going through books. I feel like it's more interactive and it's more in real time. And yeah, if it was boring, also let me know. I don't mind. You know, it's not for everyone. Every video that you put out there, you'll catch some and then you'll lose some. So it's like a Pokemon. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm gonna go film my TikTok, start on these books, gonna finish Stoner today, and then I'll see you on the next video, and I'll also see you for a wrap up at the end of the year. That's the other thing I want to do. I want to start filming TBR videos and wrap up videos so I can be accountable and be more organized with my writing. I've been working through my reviews from the last 2 years. I'm going to be publishing them on my blog, and I also just want to be more intentional with how I review books, and I want to take my time, but I also want to continue reading a lot of books, and I also want to just finish books before I keep on picking up new books. So some of these books I'm going to finish first before tackling new books. So yeah, that's that. What are you reading this month? What are your goals for the new year? I would love to read them. I would love to talk to you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye! Wait, I have to reach